Spider-Man Brand New Day is out. Woohoo! But there's a little problem. See, I'm not your typical YouTuber. I'm not Mr. Beast to make collaboration videos with the star cast of the movie or a street interviewer to ask people their thoughts on the movie right after the walkout of a movie theater. I'm an artist, but I mean, I could draw the movie cast, but let's be honest, who would sit and watch me draw Peter Parker or MJ or Ned because they've no other entertainment to watch? And I'm not even that good of an artist, so what do I do? Think, Iscom, think. Aha! I know. How about I do both? How about I give you guys my thoughts on Brand New Day while I draw the star cast of the movie, which we all know is Tom Holland. Hope that will be engaging enough. Now listen guys, there will be no spoilers. You trust me, right? Let's get into it. What are you guys looking at? It's not like I'm reading off a script. Great Spider-Man. Constant Peter Parker's. Huh? You know what guys, I think before I share my thoughts, we should first hear other people's thoughts. I have a video from Doomblazer, I'll put it on screen. Don't worry about me, just watch the video.
I keep going back to the theater to watch this movie. Like, it's so good, man. It hits harder with a rewatch, too. It might be a hot take, and maybe I need to rewatch the whole MCU, but I genuinely believe Spider-Man Brand New Day is a top 3 MCU movie. It's so good. I have never seen a movie I can relate to as much as Spider-Man Brand New Day. Like, dude, that opening montage where it shows what Peter has been up to the last few years was so cool, man. I will admit, I wish some of the villains got more screen time, like Scorpion and especially Tombstone, but it's fine. At least we established a proper rogues gallery. Hopefully we see them in the sequel. Also, Sadie Sink as Jean Grey, wasn't surprised by that at all. It was like the worst kept secret ever. Sadie Sink is a great casting for Jean Grey. I cannot wait to see her come back in Secret Wars and the X-Men reboot, and she's in dire need of Professor Xavier and his school to keep her and her powers in check, and she needs a new support system with the other mutants. Now, I know people aren't happy that Jean Grey was the villain of this movie instead of like an actual Spider-Man villain. I can understand that criticism, but from how I view it, I don't think Brand New Day had an actual main villain. The true evil Peter had to overcome was depression and loneliness. Jean Grey was not even a villain. She just wanted revenge after what happened to her sister, and she was going after damage control. I respect Destin Daniel Cretton for trying something different, but for Spider-Man 5, we do need to go back to having like an actual Spider-Man villain. I just love how Destin does world building with his MCU movies. Like with Brand New Day, every other iconic MCU character was there to service Peter's journey in that film. Like Yelena Belova, who is now officially the new Black Widow, and Jean Grey were in this movie to show how important it is to have a support system.
2,000 years later.
Responsible, great Spider-Man, the constant Peter Parker's. So great Spider-Man stories aren't about the costume, they're about the constant friction between Peter Parker's happiness and Spider-Man's responsibility. And Brand New Day balances this perfectly. In this video, I'm just sharing my thoughts on the movie and how Spider-Man Brand New Day could affect future movies like Avengers Doomsday or Miles Morales finally entering the live-action MCU. But one interesting and rather touching aspect of the movie for me, will be that moment when dust settles. Peter Parker makes a quiet, heartbreaking decision. So we know that Spider-Man No Way Home, or for some of us who do not know this, the time difference between Spider-Man No Way Home and Spider-Man Brand New Day is 4 years. So after Spider-Man No Way Home, 4 years pass, and while we still see Spider-Man in Brand New Day, Peter Parker slowly disappears. I mean, can you imagine having to live with the memory involving the people you love the most, while also knowing that they do not have the same memories of you? When Peter sees Ned and MJ living happy, safe lives, he has the opportunity to tell them the truth, but he chooses not to. Why? Because for Peter, keeping them safe means keeping them out of his world. It is the ultimate sacrifice, choosing absolute loneliness so the people he loves can have a future. And that is just the character Tom had to play. But guys, can we pause for a second and can we give some credit to Tom Holland? In fact, all the credit, because His acting was what's the word? Flawless. Phenomenal. If you guys have a better word, please leave it in the comments. He really deserves a suitable word for his incredible performance. But do you notice how the film handles Peter Parker's choice in the final battle? This was another beautiful observation I made. Instead of giving into the anger that nearly consumed him in No Way Home, Peter chooses restraint. He actively decides all throughout the movie not to cross the line, proving to Frank Castle and to himself that being Spider-Man means carrying the burden so others do not have to. And that also showed how mature he had gotten over the span of 4 years, which we spoke about earlier. Now, there's a theory I came across while trying to answer some questions I had about the 3 Peter Parkers, which I'll show you guys later. But for now, let's check out some interesting questions and comments fans have about this banger of a movie. I'm reading the comments of videos across social media platforms. So first of all, this one is a rather vague question, but okay, let's hear it. He says, what is the Hand doing in the movie? Okay. Another one says, where is Peter getting his money from? That's a rather funny one. From the MCU, I guess. Now, see what this guy also said. He said, is Spider-Man going to be in Avengers Secret Wars or Doomsday? Now, in the post-credit scene, Peter ended up off-world. So the question among fans is that which movie is he going to appear in first? Will it be Secret Wars or Doomsday? And that question is a really intelligent one. Well, we'll talk about this in a bit, but let's now see the video about the theory we talked about. Let's watch.
There's a Spider-Man Brand New Day theory that this movie reveals what happened to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man after No Way Home. So we all know that Peter's Brand New Day suit takes inspiration from both Tobey and Andrew, but this movie actually tells us more about what actually happened to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man after going back to his universe and how his future actually changes. Because we know in Spider-Man Brand New Day, Peter starts to ignore his Peter Parker side, and that's what causes his mutation and his arachnid DNA to take over, which gives him stronger powers, enhanced senses, and organic webbing. The one thing that he was super grossed out about Tobey's Spider-Man. But this is where it all starts to connect. And to make this make sense, we need to go back to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, where we learn from Miguel O'Hara that Spider-Man across the multiverse go through similar or sometimes the same exact events, which are called canon events, and they can't be changed. And that's why we see moments from both Tobey and Andrew's universes in Across the Spider-Verse. But if we go back to No Way Home, there's a conversation that may reveal Andrew and Tom's Spider-Man are a lot more connected than we think. Because in No Way Home, while Tobey and Andrew are trying to make the cures for the villains, Tobey asks Andrew if he has anyone, like an MJ or just a girlfriend in general. And Andrew shakes his head and says he doesn't have time for Peter Parker stuff.
I got no time for Peter Parker stuff.
And at the time, it seemed like Andrew was just saying he didn't have time for a relationship. But after Brand New Day, that line actually means something completely different. Because Andrew is literally telling us he's starting to ignore being Peter Parker and becoming too focused on being Spider-Man. The same exact mistake that causes Tom's arachnid DNA to take over and lose himself as Peter Parker. Which means Andrew could go down the same road as Tom, where he mutates, becomes a stronger Spider-Man, and eventually develops enhanced senses and organic webbing. So if the Spider-Man ever meet again, Tom and Andrew may finally have the one power that they originally thought Tobey was so weird for having.
So guys, this is a really deep dive into the movie, and they did really well at connecting the dots. Now, basically what he was saying is that scanning through all Spider-Man movies, scanning through all the Spider-Men, we can all notice similar destinies playing out in all of their lives. Now, simply put, what the other Peter Parkers already lived is what Tom Holland's Peter Parker is now living. Now back to the topic of understanding the post-credit scene in Brand New Day. In the final scene, the post-credit scene, we pan away from Earth into deep space, tracking a signal pinning off a Spider-Man tracker. Many fans thought this was setting up a cosmic threat like Galactus or a Secret Wars crossover, but look closer at the cosmic energy surrounding that signal. This isn't just about space, this is setting up a broader multiversal incursion. That signal wasn't going out to space, it was bridging across dimensions. Marvel is dropping a direct hint that Peter's isolation on Earth 616 is about to be shattered when the multiverse collapses. Whether this directly leads into Avengers Doomsday or brings us closer to Miles Morales entering the live-action MCU, one thing is clear, Peter's days as a quiet street-level hero are numbered. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Storytime with Iscom. If you made it here, I want you guys to type out in the comments, "We found it," just to confuse those of us that didn't. Thank you guys for watching once again, and see you guys in the next one. We came from far, so